The latest episode of WWE SmackDown featured major developments in the Bloodline storyline. The night began with Jey Uso showing up on the Blue Brand to confront Solo Sikoa and his men. The Intercontinental Champion then came face-to-face with Roman Reigns for the first time since WrestleMania XL. SmackDown ended with the Bloodline unleashing an assault on Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso for the second week in a row. Braun Breaker will get a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship against Jey Uso on the upcoming episode of wwe-raw, as the Intercontinental Champion showed up on SmackDown to confront Solo Sikoa. The self-proclaimed tribal chief may brutally respond to him next week. He could send Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa to cost G the title against Rick Steiner's son. This would also plant the seeds for Jey's reunion with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his tribal chief and told him to stop dividing the Inoue family. He also had a heated encounter with Jacob Fatu. WWE might book a singles match between the Yeet Master and the Samoan Werewolf once G reunites with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. The chances of it happening would increase more if Fatu costs him the Intercontinental title on Raw next Monday. Roman Reigns' right-hand man versus Solo Sikoa's enforcer would surely be an interesting clash. Roman Reigns lost his cool and refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his tribal chief on SmackDown. As a result, he suffered another beatdown from the Bloodline. It seems like the only way to settle the dispute now is in the ring. So, the original tribal chief could challenge his cousin to a match at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia on the upcoming episode of SmackDown. If the match happened, a lot of interruptions might occur, which would be the perfect way to set up a Bloodline civil war at Survivor Series War Games next month. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa previously defended the WWE Tag Team Championship in a triple threat ladder match against DIY and the Street Profits on SmackDown before Bad Blood. Their next challengers will be determined next week in a match between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. The duo that wins will likely get the title shot on SmackDown before Crown Jewel. There is a possibility that Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso cost the Tongans the gold during that match. Jey Uso coming for revenge might also be possible if the Bloodline costs him the Intercontinental Championship on the upcoming episode of Raw. Paul Heyman suffered a lot during Roman Reigns' absence, but remained loyal to the original tribal chief. This led to the Bloodline brutalizing him back in June. On the latest episode of SmackDown, Roman Reigns mentioned the Wise Men in a backstage segment with Jimmy Uso. The OTC said that if the 59-year-old star had been by his side, he would have dealt with the Jey Uso situation already. Paul Heyman has been backstage with Roman Reigns since the OTC returned at SummerSlam. The special counsel could make his on-screen return as soon as the reunion of the original Bloodline is on the horizon. WWE will hold a double taping of SmackDown next week at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, a big venue for the Stanford-based promotion. The Wisemen could finally return there and then go on to speak to Jey Uso on behalf of Roman Reigns. The Bloodline storyline has dominated WWE for the past few years, with Roman Reigns at the helm as the tribal chief. His dominance, alongside the likes of Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and formerly the Usos, has kept fans glued to their screens. However, after SmackDown's latest developments, particularly with Jey Uso leaving for Raw and Jimmy Uso wavering in loyalty, it feels like a new chapter is brewing for the faction. The next steps for the Bloodline could lead to unexpected alliances, the rise of new champions, and the involvement of wrestling legends. Here are 5 bold predictions for the Bloodline following WWE SmackDown. Roman Reigns has faced an increasing number of betrayals and challenges within his own family. First, Jey Uso stood up to him in a match that almost saw G dethrone him as tribal chief. Then Jimmy Uso, who Reigns saw as a loyal right-hand man, began showing signs of rebellion. As Reigns' empire slowly crumbles, the pressure on him to maintain control of SmackDown will continue to rise. This is where we could see the return of an iconic figure in WWE, none other than the 59-year-old wrestling legend, Rikishi, father to Jimmy and Jey Uso. The idea of family honor is deeply ingrained in the Samoan dynasty, and Roman may seek Rikishi's help to realign the Bloodline and bring order back to his faction. Rikishi's involvement could spark several different directions for the Bloodline. Will he help Roman perhaps to mediate the family differences, or will he side with his sons, Jimmy and G, as they fight back against Reigns' tyrannical leadership? Either way, Rikishi stepping back into the fold would add emotional depth to this family saga, blending WWE history with the current storyline. His experience and wisdom could also serve as a critical element in restoring the fractured bloodline, even if it comes at the expense of aligning against Reigns. Solo Sikoa has long been regarded as the enforcer of the bloodline, playing a crucial role in protecting Roman Reigns and dealing with anyone who threatens the tribal chief's reign. However, cracks have been appearing in Solo's allegiance to Reigns. While he has remained silent and brooding for the most part, his mannerisms in recent weeks suggest that Solo might be growing tired of Reigns' oppressive leadership. As the last true muscle left in the bloodline, Solo could decide that it's time to step out of Roman's shadow and forge his own path. Fans have already speculated that Sikoa could follow in the footsteps of his brothers, Jimmy and Jay, both of whom have declared independence from Reigns. A major moment on WWE SmackDown could see Solo Sikoa finally turn on Roman, refusing to be just a pawn in his cousin's empire. Sikoa's departure would officially signal the crumbling of Reigns' power structure and could lead to a new Samoan family civil war, with the former enforcer challenging Roman for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Given Solo's potential and credibility, his rise as a solo competitor could refresh WWE's main event scene.